In the future 3, Africans will have a podcast that exposes all my efforts to convince the blacks that black capitalism will help them.
You gotta struggle, you gotta win. If you dare not struggle, you goddamn don't deserve to win. Let me just speak to you if you're willing to fight for it. I said these politicians clowns, so let me reiterate it. Just being libs when they're liberated.
Agenda has been given a lot of attention and a lot of resources where we've literally turned some reactionaries into celebrities and given them hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to go around the world to oppose our effeminization.
The stats show we only care about our figures.
$1 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe. I don't want to give that money. And those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now,
they milking our chocolate, we think we rich. They give us some chips so we can brag. Ay, why they own the potatoes and keep the bag? Now you stacking your Pringles and I ain't mad. Ay, gotta sell that black soul for whitey's cachet. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is just a byproduct of capitalism. Everything will be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands. My paper chasing past to have me feeling like a hypocrite. The dollars can't compromise the change I'm trying to implement. I use the mic to keep the Decepticons at bay with the same qualms as Noam Chomsky and Kwame Ture, hood socialists with a new era beret. It's like they neuralize you. We just redo errors. It's crazy. They got new Elijahs Xing out black messiahs today, trying to neutralize us. Just COINTELPRO away. Hey, loyalty is rarely immune to pay. These coons come buffoon for the Klansmen that they obey. They discard us, disregard us. We take them back anyway. We easy prey. It's evident by the precedents that we lay. Well adjusted to injustice. Our people in disarray. Feel the terror from mega ever scared to go disobey. We recite the words they fearing to play.
And the millionaires are paupers.
Right. Worldwide net private wealth stood at $450 trillion in 2022. That I just, and to Diallo's point, remember what this number means. This is money. This is wealth produced for private ownership by all of us, extracted from all of us, in all that we do in the economy.
If they're not educated, they want more, and before you know it, they'll be capitalists, and before you know it, we have Negro imperialism.
Yeah, what's up, world? Welcome to episode 79. Earn Your Liberation. Jared Ball, Diallo Kenyatta, and an improvement, a step up. The GT model. It's like I'm just playing. What's up? Skipp joins us, special guest, because Geechee is in Cuba or on his way or something like that. What's up, fellas? How you feeling this morning,
bro?
Greetings, everybody in the chat who's able to join us live. Welcome to you. Peace to everybody who's going to see and hear this later. Please like, share, subscribe, support the Patreon. It's in the show description. Put this in your socials. Do all of the things. So what's happening this morning? What's on everybody's mind? What's the latest? Where should we begin?
I think we should begin with a concern that I have, that I haven't shared. Now, since Geechee ain't here, I think we can all now speak freely. People don't understand the level of censorship and repression that Geechee presence imposes on us. But I gotta tell y'all, every time I ask y'all, you and Geechee something, it's just, I don't know, y'all brothers are just too hard. I don't know. This is a new era for men. We can soften up a bit, because I feel bad every time I have to ask y'all for something. Y'all make me feel like I'm the worst person. Like them old school depression songs. Brother, can you spare a dime? I used to build bridges and now I'm on the line. Because I was just like, yo, can I get a link? Can you give me the password? Every time I ask y'all the simplest stuff, y'all be like, yo, you had it. Yo, what? What's wrong with you? We gave it to you 2 years ago. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm just saying, man, y'all just cut me some slack. That's all I'm saying. Y'all some hard brothers, man. It's like this ain't this ain't the front line.
Pause.
Seriously, every time I'm like, oh shit, I need to ask Jared for a password. I gotta ask Geechee for it to send me a link. Y'all go hard. Like what?
Listen,
modern manhood.
Look, I admit it, I don't always feel like being asked all the time for the same information I give you.
You're doing it now. Okay.
I'm admitting it. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying what you have, the vibe you have been sensing is real.
You're like, yeah, I don't feel like all the time, like,
Well, I mean, at what point do you do?
Yeah, I admit it.
But at what point do you do what everybody else does?
I gotta admit that. Okay, I'll take what I can get. What sympathy, whatever form it comes in.
What? Wait a minute. This is a false representation out the gate. The chat is already Strin. Careful with what you call high praise. I did not.
All the truth are coming out.
Don't be afraid. Said I started watching today. Mason Killer the other day off Jab's high praise. This is not. All the truth. You got to be clear of what it is that I'm saying. I'm saying without pride that I enjoy their show. I do not co-sign the politics. I do not co-sign. I'm just letting you know that I have just shared that is one of the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. One of the less proud media outlets that I do visit. So when I say high praise, I'm just saying I enjoy the show, but I enjoy the show in the way that a child enjoys a Saturday morning cartoon back in the day, at least. It's not. There you go. Thank you, big bro. Guilty pleasure. That's it. It's my liquor. Exactly. It's my media uncle. It's the uncle nearest of my media diet. So I just want to be clear. I don't want people running around Jared out here. That said, I'll be watching this show later. And I acknowledge that at some point, Diallo, I just would like, I encourage that you do what just the rest of us lessers have done and just write down the password, save it in the browser or wherever you got to do, so security protocol is let Jared remember it and I'll just get it from him.
Don't ask me for shit. Everything you get, you got to work hard for it. Fuck the world.
Oh, this is funny. Caleb said I added Cam and Mace to the 10-point program. Free political prisoners. Watch. It is what it is. Man. I mean, it seems to flow. It's right. End capitalism. Watch Cam and Mace. And it's wild because as rappers, I never paid them any attention. To this day, I have not listened to 99% of their catalog. When they make reference to their music.
Word?
Really? I mean, I just was not. I was
like
guilty.
People that only know Ice-T as an actor. You've missed out on so much rich heritage. I mean,
I may have. Bars. If they rhyme as well as they are funny on this show, then yeah. I have.
No, it's not funny. I mean,
or whatever it is that I enjoy.
Cameron is a feminist icon. If you listen to his music, remember Charlie Baltimore said Cameron bought me my first box of tampons.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He's out there repping for the sisters. Day one.
Because I'm very much, I was guilty of the whole thing that when I saw Mace being brought on, I was very much like, oh, this is Puffy trying to recycle after Biggie's gone. I'm not, I just always looked at him like that. I just wasn't.
No, Shine was Biggie's replacement.
I know. I hear you. I just thought he was another one of the attempted.
Puffy said, I liked him because he sounded like me.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. But apparently I had no idea that, you know, the level of gangster that Mace was or is in Harlem, and I didn't know when they start telling the stories about Big L, like running, you know, that Big L got Mace set up, tried to get Mace set up, and they didn't really rock with each other like that. I was like, wow, I didn't know all this stuff. I think the stuff's fascinating. But in terms of their music, nah, man.
I implore you, go check out Confessions of Fire.
I don't know.
I mean, he got the song D Ruggs rapping about his mother's addiction and how his mother he like turned drugs into what do you call when you turn something non-human into a human entity and to engage with it? Anthropomorphize. See, you get real scholarship here, EYL. He turned drugs into a lover and talked about how his mother entered a relationship with drugs and how it destroyed his relationship with his mother as a child, how she chose this dude over me. It's some Confessions of Fire is slept on because that's before he was
Anthony D is
Harlem
agreeing with
boy.
you.
So
and so is Swizzy 425. They are imploring me to go check out the early
that's
work.
why I'm like a first album fan. After the first, I move on. One night stand with rappers. Pause. Get your first album. I get what I want. I'm out.
Wow.
After Reasonable Doubt, I swear I haven't listened to another Jay-Z album after Reasonable Doubt. I moved on.
Now that to me is, so that would be where that's my, like, the only time I heard Cam was when he was doing tracks, that one Welcome to New York track with Jay-Z and stuff like that.
Yeah. Go check out Confessions of Fire.
But Jay-Z's first, up until the Black album, he had a lot of good music.
Yeah.
After that, I can't co-sign. I don't listen anymore.
I don't know. I can't tell you.
I'm telling you, and now that it's
after the first album, he was talking about the same shit.
Yeah. No question. But once, and now with all this stuff apparently coming out about Justin Timberlake, I was right. That because Timberlake opening that album for Jay-Z is whenever that one was after the Black album, the first voice you hear on the next album is Timberlake. And I promise you, the first time I played it, I didn't even let the song get started. I was like, I'm out. Timberlake opening up a Jay-Z album, I was like, I'm done. I didn't even listen to that song until like 2 years ago when I heard it as a go-go version. And then I was like, oh, that song is pretty hot, actually. At least it's a go-go version. But so that's what I'm saying. And now apparently Timberlake, man, I didn't know this dude allegedly has been a terror out here.
Really?
Yeah, according to YouTube, according to my algorithm on YouTube, Justin Timberlake, he got caught recently apparently with a DUI and a lot of other stuff allegedly.
Oh, really? Is that why you're clutching pearls?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking. No, I'm not. No, the DUI is what I'm saying has opened the floodgates because apparently he's been like all this stuff about his relationship with Britney and I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I don't pay attention like that. But I'm just saying, if I'm just going by algorithm with thumbnails, headlines, a few minutes of a video here or there. Because I'm here for the downfall videos. I'm a sucker for that. They're like the downfall of Timberlake with the shiny thumbnail. I'm like, ooh.
There's only one. I've only watched one downfall video. It drugged me in. It was amazing. I encourage everybody to go watch that one.
Which one?
Tila Tequila.
Oh,
because
wow.
I never heard of her until she became a Nazi. Because I'm like on right wing watch. I would look out for when they
go far right enough, then they hit your radar.
Yes, I just look out, but mainly it's for black right wing and black conservatism, because I think that's really like black I have like my algorithm is full of black conservatism, black right wing, black reactionary, and then Tequila popped up. And I'm like, Tila Tequila, who is that? And I watched her. She was like this party girl that did like reality TV. And
Yeah, I remember her.
Apolitical. You know, Tila Tequila.
I remember her as a pop, as a whatever. And then I heard I did hear she made a rightward turn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she became a full-blown Nazi on some Kanye shit. So that was a downfall video that kind of.
Oh yeah, I watch. And I don't have
roads to it.
Apparently, and I'm with you on that though. Like I don't have to even know who the person was before I watch the downfall video. They'll be like so and so's downfall. I'll be like, ooh, who is that?
Yeah, only because it was like she went from like party girl to Nazi, and I'm like, wait, what? I know way more about Tila Tequila than anybody. I go head up on Tila Tequila lore against anybody.
Well, and then the other one I like is and I just saw another one when the Kick video streamers get their comeuppance. I'm a big fan of that too. These kids run around bothering people on live streams at their jobs and whatnot. And somebody ran up on somebody and their friend showed up and smacked the camera out their hand and dared them, to do something. And they didn't. They got punked on their own stream. And I was like,
you get to shake your virtual cane. You darn
exactly. Kid. You damn right.
And the 85-year-old man that ran over 3 kids that knocked on his door and ran away.
All right, I didn't say all that. Come on now.
You just said I love when those kids get their comeuppance. You damn kid. You just said that.
I didn't see that one. I didn't co-sign that one. I didn't even. So that's what they did. They knocked on the door and ran, and he got in the car and ran them over.
His door and ran away like 12 and 13-year-olds.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time.
They knocked on his door, but now you love to see him get smacked up and stomped out.
Well, that's not the ones I'm talking about. That's not the same.
Kids out here just doing kids.
No, I'm talking about going to people. I mean, if you knock on the door and run, I mean, I don't even know what the value of the stream is to that. I'm talking about when they show up at people's jobs and they're just walking and they're just, and then the other ones that they have bodyguards. So they dare you to do something, and then their bodyguard is standing there. They're the ones I'm less sympathetic. Skipp, man, you gonna speak, man? What's up, man? You just you waiting for us to elevate to your level? What we got to do, man?
You don't want to be subjected to your harsh, abrasive form of obsolete masculinity.
I mean, so let me ask you this, Skipp. This is what I did. This is the one question I did have for you. What I was thinking was, because I do think how serendipitous it has been that in these YouTube spaces, at least two of your biggest fans and YouTube colleagues are atheists who. So I thought, because I think it's odd that both Diallo and I are big fans of your work. And the two of you do his show from time to time, at least, or more regularly. And you are not only a brilliant MC and activist, but a committed Christian, and yet two of your that you've attracted into your sphere of influence are atheists. And I just thought, so I guess the question would be, how does that make you feel, Skipp?
It's something I talk about a good bit when I'm not with y'all.
Behind our backs. Another way of saying that. I'm keeping it real today. I'm sleep deprived. I'm a little jet lagged. I'm just keeping it real. I'm translating all the code and speak.
Yeah. But like, so it's something like that I haven't captured the best language to kind of address with Diallo in a real way. But because Diallo will say everybody's a Christian until some Christian shit happen. And I think it's like really interesting that his experience with Christianity is the real experience of Christianity, and my experience isn't real, right? Like my experience is wrong, his experience is right. And I bring that up because the way that I understand it, Scripture tells us to love. And one of the things that I learned as I matured was that I think it was like St. Francis of Assisi says, like, at all times preach the gospel, and when necessary use words. So your belief, acceptance, rejection don't have nothing to do with your humanity and what I'm called to do. So in the meantime, we got work to do. Like, that's unimportant to me. Like, you not raping and pillaging. You just don't believe the thing that I believe. And I'm certain that there are a whole lot of people that don't believe what I believe, and they don't discount the work. So, like, let's get to work. Like, that's it just don't, it's not that important to me. Like, I can't stand in judgment of anybody because I know all the stuff that I do. And I'm so focused on what I need to do better that I can't be, Diallo say he don't and Jared say he don't. Like, that's just, man, at the end of the day, we're going to die. And I'd have no idea what happens when I die. I hope I get to see my grandma again. Like I hope with all the things that I have, I hope that happens. But beyond that, like, man, we got work to do. like,
see, that's what
speaking of which, just real quick, we got Geechee on the run. We got Geechee on the run.
Passport, bro.
Passport, bro.
Or should I say
on
passport, bro? Oh wait, passport, hermano.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Passport, hermano.
Diallo already took over my job of being a passport bro, so I don't know why he capping right now. Diallo been traveling more than me lately. And I heard y'all talk about Murder Mason. Y'all must be don't know about Murder Mason in the street. I heard y'all talking about it. I didn't even know his real last name was Betha. Like, I didn't know, like, when I heard Mason Betha, I didn't know that I thought he was saying Mace and someone. You don't remember the verse he said, I was murder, P. Diddy named me pretty, I did it for the money, now can you get with me? You remember that?
No, because I didn't listen to these dudes, man.
He said, everybody in the Harlem world know Mace got dope. Come on, man. That's why
I'm not in Harlem.
That's
I've never been in.
He became a preacher because of all the dirt he done did, man. He got bodies under them.
That ain't why he became a preacher.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is in Harlem, right? Am I right about that? No. Where's Roscoe's?
California, I thought.
Yeah, Uptown Veg is in Harlem.
Wait a minute. So where did I get? I didn't. Oh, so where did I didn't go to? Where did I get? I didn't go to. That's it wasn't Roscoe's. I wasn't because I've never been to the West Coast like that. So wherever I was, I thought I was in Harlem getting chicken and waffles.
Yeah, but you can get anywhere. You get chicken and waffles and sugar in Jackson.
No, I know, but I'm saying I know. No. I know you can get chicken. You can get chicken and waffles here. I'm just saying I happen to have been. I thought in a spot in Harlem. What's the spot? There's even a movie that shot a scene in there. What movie was that? I got to think about that. I think it was the remake of Shaft with what's his name? Sam Jackson there's a bar he was in that I was in once. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's my point is that's as close to Harlem as I've been. So I don't know nothing about Mace.
Shout out to Uptown Veg. 125th Street. I don't know what you're doing in chicken and waffles anywhere.
This was many years ago. I went to Sylvia's years ago and sat at a table next to Jasmine Guy.
Can I tell you something about New Yorkers, Harlemites? They think only suckers go to Sylvia's. You paying $45 for a plate of chitlins?
Don't forget, Jared is a politician, so he has to go to Sylvia's when he
Oh, wow. Yes, I am a politician.
Yeah.
I thought you did. I
People
thought
see
that
you
was
coming
what you
in
were
and out of
supposed to do.
cities, They know you's a sucker because it's a tourist trap. And like white liberals would come to New York and court prominent blacks, and they'd always invite them to Sylvia's for a $1,500 dinner, and they sitting there eating stuff their grandma would make, on the
DC Joe
weekend.
Black asked if Jasmine was still fly. I'm sure she was. I honestly was. She was never. No disrespect, but she was never my cup of tea per se. And of just about, I think of all the women on A Different World, I think she would have been my least.
I don't rock with
the least interesting to me.
I don't rock with none. I got a grudge against all them Different World and Cosby Show colors.
Oh,
I don't rock with none of them. They all pacification propagandas.
Damn. I mean,
even Lisa Bonet.
Even Lisa Bonet, especially Lisa
her.
Bonet. I knew he was gonna say that.
It ain't even her. Gonna say no bad about Cree Summer, not the Joseph.
See, that's Cree.
Y'all don't know. Y'all met her off of the voice acting, so y'all only. It's just.
I got eyes, boy. That's how I met Cree Summer. I got eyes.
But I thought her friend. I liked her thick friend. I liked her thick friend even better. I liked her.
Know these people's names, like
I don't remember the names, and I keep it.
We watch it a lot, but Jaleesa, I think, was her name.
Yeah, well, I didn't rock with none of that. I didn't like. I don't blame the actors and actresses, but the producers, the writers, the propagandists, the sponsors, the financiers. I think that we're still suffering from the propaganda of The Different World and Cosby Show, and we became sophisticated enough to recognize step and fetching propaganda, the demeaning Disney cartoon, racist Disney cartoon propaganda. But when they came with the positive propaganda, we hadn't been experienced that yet. That progress porn shit, we hadn't been hit with that strong positive imagery. We didn't have our immune system. It was like the blankets. Positive propaganda was like the positive they brought positive propaganda coated blankets to the black community.
Smallpox blankets.
We lost our fucking minds. So I still don't know if we're hip to positive propaganda. We don't know. They always switch that shit up. And even to this day, people get at me talking about, oh, that was something good. That was something positive. And it's even an outcry, an undercurrent that swells up like a latent disease that every now and then you get a boil where we start calling for, why can't we have another Cosby Show? Why can't we have another Different World? That shit was harmful psychologically, socially, and culturally. That shit was as harmful as step and fetching to the black community. That shit was weaponized. And it ain't just negative imagery that can be weaponized against the people. Positive imagery can also be weaponized. And like I said, I'm not even saying that Dwayne Wade was conscious of that or Lisa Bonet were conscious of that. They showed up, they got a script, they did their artistry, they got the paycheck and left. Unlike a lot of these rappers who sat down and wrote that shit themselves. I give, like the gangster rappers more. But all I'm saying is I don't even think we ready to have that discussion. Because we think brainwashing and propaganda is only teaching us negative shit about ourselves.
Listen, I'm happy to stay or to come back to this, but since Geechee is here, I don't know how long we got you here. I was hoping you could
talk
check
about
out
the mission.
Oh. No, because I know we're accused of talking about the Breakfast Club too much, but I found someone who may hate on them harder than we do.
Harder than Geechee?
I think so. This dude and maybe editing more gangster than Geechee, finding the clips because he put together
talking about the guy you sent us?
The only thing that's on the run sheet is what I put. There's only one thing on the run sheet. I put it there. It's the thing. I just send it that it's him talking about Charlemagne and Joe Buttons are worse than Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Geechee.
I tip my hat to him.
Geechee, can you put your microphone inside your mask? It'll make you a little louder.
Put your mic inside your mask, if you can. Yeah.
It might not even be a mic on this thing, man. You know I'm cheap, bro.
Oh, that boy snap.
This the airline one.
He got the bootleg.
Oh, this dude is a menace.
What is that?
He
got the airline headphones.
He raw dogged the flight. He ain't had no headphones. And then he got the airline
I
joint.
wouldn't be talking this shit in no airport. I think that TSA is the most hardcore enforcement agency in this country, over CIA, over the cops, the LAPD. The fucking enforcement agency I fear the most is the TSA.
It's really not the TSA for me.
I walk in the airport, I become a patriotic citizen.
It's who?
Flight attendants.
But they ain't.
You know how many flight attendants? Bro, let me tell you about one flight in particular. This flight attendant, I don't know who I look like to him. I don't know what happened to him, but this dude was baiting me to say anything, like on some like, say it and you'll never fly again. Say it and you'll never fly again.
You look like Terrell Davis to him. That's what it must be.
Bro,
you heard what happened to your boy?
Bad. So like I think I was going to Vermont or something. Yeah, I was definitely going to Vermont.
That's why.
So bad.
It's the destination more than anything. Taking your black ass to Vermont. They were like, hell no.
Look, it was so bad that I met people that were going to the same place that I had never met before. And they were like, yo, like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Like it was that. And I've had that experience with flight attendants before. Like, just like, yo, you are not going to be a problem on here, buddy. TSA don't, like they going to either take my water or find my gummies. They not tripping. Like, I ain't never had TSA trip. But flight attendants?
Well, now I'm TSA pre-check. I don't even mess around.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that global entry.
I'm trying to get the global entry. I'm trying to get all of that. I'm trying to get clear, whatever I can get. I'm trying to get all of that.
Jared, don't do that. Stay home.
Nah, man, I can't be messing with the lines, man, and I can't. And it's a long story, but that's and somebody in the chat was asking if I'm no Swizzy. I don't mean Terrell Owens. I mean Terrell Davis, the former running back for the Broncos.
Yeah,
just got taken off a flight in handcuffs.
Yeah, like he tapped somebody's arm or something.
Yeah,
like we're gonna get
and
you
the flight attendant was he just tried to get the flight attendant's attention and tapped the arm according to his IG, and they had the FBI and everybody waiting when they landed. Took him off the plane in handcuffs in front of his family and his kids and everything. The airline was sending apologies and whatnot. Yeah, all right, it's too late now. Somebody, that's a mess. But if we can, I would want to play. First of all, he's got an argument that Joe Budden and Charlemagne are worse than Candace Owens. So I put that.
I'm sick of seeing that bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Let me just play at least a little bit of this here. Then you could.
After co-hosting stuff like Wendy Williams and The Guy Code, he got a talk show called Charlemagne and Friends. He got a spin-off of Catfish called Catfish Trolls. He had a talk show called
I didn't even know he
Uncommon
had this
Knowledge.
many
He had
shows.
A talk show called The Gods on.
They all imploded.
Second season into a show called Hell of a Week. They just keep giving this dude chances, even though it should be pretty clear by this point that he lacks crossover appeal. I mean, none of these shows made it past the season. He was also going to have an HBO talk show called The Gray Area that was likely dropped due to some of the accusations we're about to cover in this video. Meanwhile, Joe Budden was a one-hit wonder rapper. Then he became a rapper's rapper. And
let me skip ahead a little bit. Cause where? There we go.
Just that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk. I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly. Oh, so you picked her. Shut up. Spanish Fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. She was drunk and shit, and we had sex and shit, and like a lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and I'm like, nah, shit, like I can't. We're not doing that. I'm not gonna let you run a train on. Me and her had every intention of having sex with each other. So then why would you put the Spanish Fly? I was a freaky, I'm still a freaky motherfucker, but I listen, was she passed out while you fucked her? Nah, she wasn't like, she was like one of those drunks where, she was one of those drunks where she was like, she wasn't coherent, but she was up. You know when your girl just, like when you're blacked out, like that, don't know what the fuck's going on type shit.
She wasn't coherent.
Yeah.
That's old. That's been put out there, and he's still
yeah, my bad. Trigger warning. But there was more. There's more in there. There's more in there. And the thing about being pleasured by his dog or pleasuring his dog.
Man, y'all be letting shit pass. I don't understand.
What do you mean letting it pass? I had not heard that before.
But that's what the brother.
That shit.
That's what the brother was saying in the video. He said they have that Men in Black little thing that make people forget. And you just keep
I can't hear what Geechee.
Geechee is saying that the dude in the video said he had the Men in Black wand or whatever that makes people forget. First of all, I don't pay attention. Look, I pay more attention to the critique than the actual show, so I have to admit that. So I'm not being. This is not like some scientific analysis of the Breakfast Club. This is. Yeah, go ahead.
This is my problem with these.
But I think he makes the point that you're about to make. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the problem. The left and progressive have been calling out Charlemagne, and he was known as Charlemagne the Rapist for the longest time. And when left and progressive call people out and condemn, they say snowflakes, oh, you're trying to cancel people. But then the right-wingers come out and call for cancellation. He's not condemning Charlemagne based on Charlemagne's. His objective is not to condemn Charlemagne. His objective is to elevate Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? If I come to you and it's like, well, radioactive waste is much worse than feces. Am I trying to coerce you to somehow engage with feces in a way you shouldn't be engaging with feces? Why can't I talk about the toxicity of radioactive waste? Why do
wait. Are you saying the dude who made the video? The dude who made the video is not doing that. I just want to be clear.
Did he not say Charlemagne is worse than Candace Owens?
Right, but he was. But again, so let me be fair. To be fair to the dude, I didn't give it maybe I'm rushing. It was just too jokey with it. Let me be clear what he's saying. Let me just be clear, because if you didn't watch the video, be clear what he's saying. What he's saying is similar. For instance, what I think he's saying is similar to what we were talking about when we were talking about the black disinformation and media issue. That people will promote Candace or discuss Candace or people like Candace in the right wing as the ultimate problem, when a bigger problem are those who pose as somewhere to her left, and they become. Well, first of all, that's what he's saying in the video, and that it comports with exactly my own argument that ultimately these liberal platforms and spokespeople who do not condemn and criticize the right and do not fully embrace the actual left are bigger problems than the so-called conservatives or the conservatives that they like to point to.
That's objectively not true, though.
Okay, but hold on, Diallo.
Okay, then I just be clear that that's what he's saying, and that's what I'm saying. It's not. He's not promoting.
I think
Candace.
You're projecting onto.
No, I'm not. No, you haven't watched his video. I'm reporting what his video actually says.
There's another meme. Where did he? Because he's saying these liberals are scum of the earth. I totally agree. What specifically did he say that makes Charlemagne worse than Candace Owens?
Okay,
exactly.
Before we get, I just want to add
comparison. Because
I just want to add this.
Listen. I've made several Charlemagne. We've discussed Charlemagne on this show. I've discussed Charlemagne on the Bro Diallo show. Geechee and I have had assessments. I've had whole presentations on my own YouTube where I'm put up a Charlemagne analysis and him breaking shit down and dissect how fucked up it is. I've done all of that. But in no way have I ever been like, oh, yeah, he's far worse than Candace.
But that's
Owens.
not what he's doing. That's what I'm trying to
explain. What's the title of the video again?
The title is a title. Diallo.
Yeah, okay.
So your point is wait. Seriously. Your argument is I'm justified in condemning an entire video without watching it because of the title. That's even worse methodologically
I'm not
than what I'm
condemning
doing.
the video. I'm identifying a tactic that is used.
But you didn't.
So
but that's not what.
I'm identifying the tactic. I'm not condemning the video. That shit is everywhere. Who even has the time to condemn all that shit? I'm identifying a tactic that's happening. But go ahead.
Can I ask more context? So the man, he explicitly said Candace Owens is trying to make her run back into the spotlight, including bringing into black spaces. And as bad as she is, you should examine the people who are giving her that platform. So both Charlemagne and Joe Buttons gave her a platform to bring her back into the spotlight, including the black community. And so he was talking about, he didn't talk about their politics. He just talked about their sexual assault, domestic assault, and bestiality. That's what he was highlighting. And he's putting that along with their politics and saying this is why they're even worse than this lady that they're platforming. So I guess he did that for clickbait, but he wasn't saying, I don't think he landed that like one is better than the other per se.
No, he was saying, Geechee's audio was terrible and borderline annoying, but his rundown, his breakdown is correct and better than what I did. Again, I was rushing. I took it too lightly. I didn't even take it that seriously. But I just wanted to be clear. He's not promoting Candace Owens in any way. And then he takes time to even double back at the end of the video to remind everybody, look, I'm not promoting Candace. I'm just saying what exactly the argument and said differently than what I said during that disinformation discussion, that I do think that the Breakfast Club and people like that are ultimately worse because they present themselves as something better while ultimately promoting and defending similar, if not entirely like-minded politics of those that we're supposed to be more easily seeing as the problem themselves. And then Geechee's right. She's trying to make her comeback to the black community after her breakup with the white right. And these folks are welcoming her back in the same way that they would welcome in what is considered mainstream liberal and conservative politicians and politics and artists. Skip, please go ahead, man. I'm sorry for all the interruptions.
No worries. Nah, I mean, I've watched the show enough to know how it go. The other part of this that I think that is like incredibly important is I understood him to be making the same argument that Diallo was making earlier when he was talking about we aren't being critical enough of positive propaganda. Like that was the same. Like I didn't watch the whole video. I've never heard of the guy. Like I've heard of Charlemagne, of course, but the guy that was talking.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
When I heard like he's worse than Candace Owens, I didn't hear anybody saying, and that's why you should listen to her. It's like, hey, we know she's a bat and a bird and a crazy person, right? Look at this guy and all the things that he's done and be mindful of where you're getting your information from. So like, I don't think the conversation is one where the thing that Diallo was like is happening. Like I didn't see that happening. And I'm just a person that just kind of walked in. Like I don't,
No,
I have no idea what it was about. You know what I'm saying?
This worse than Candace Owens shit is a theme that's been going around. It's been going around in several circles, black circles. These liberals are worse than the conservatives. It's been going around. It is a very, very, very prominent position, people, and they're like, oh, I don't like Candace Owens. I'm not a fan of Candace Owens, but she's worse than these liberals. And I told y'all a long time ago, y'all been going appropriately, and I agree with y'all 100%. Y'all been going in on liberals hard, and liberals deserve every shot we take at them. Liberalism, as Dale Jones said, we can't bring a new day to our children with this filthy liberalism. Liberalism needs to be thrown in the waste can of history. But so many of our people take liberalism bad to default to conservatism. And I don't think we do enough, because we all assume, well, yeah, we don't even really, that's low-hanging fruit. We ain't really got to describe conservatism and attack conservatism, because, you know, we just, who's a conservative? None of us hang with black conservatives. None of us engage with black conservative politics, ideology, or nothing. And so we're just like, yeah, conservatism, yeah, that's just bad. We ain't even got to break that shit down. But these liberals, but there is a growing and powerful entrenched black conservatism, to black right wing, to black ultra right, to black proto-fascist element in our community. And this shit, we're saying Candace Owens is worse. You know, the FBI is worse than your local police department. I don't understand the necessity. That type of clickbait is irresponsible, to say the least. Talking about Candace Owens, Joe Budden, and Charlemagne, who are not even liberal when you listen to their ideologies and their position.
But I don't think he's
centrist conservatives. But all that to say, when y'all coming with that whole worse than Candace Owens shit, you're falling also into it, because just like myself, just like y'all accuse me of doing, most of us don't go past the headline. It's like you said, you heard her album, you heard one or two things, people see or hear what they agree with, they don't go past. You heard a Jay-Z, you a Jay-Z fan and didn't listen past the first commentary. A lot of people do that shit with a lot of different forms of media. So it's irresponsible.
But then to go and make an analysis is not appropriate.
Finally and ultimately, they are not worse. They are not, because that's just so you start off again with a lie and then want to come and be like, yeah, but beyond the headline, there's a bunch of truth in there.
I don't know that it is a lie. And again, I make the argument and I stand by it. So the reason, so again, you're finding a way to argue against what really hasn't been said and not argue what has been said.
You just said you said it.
What I said it in a certain context and made an argument that you're ignoring. That's my point. So the argument why I'm saying she's worse is because on her own, Candace
she's better. They're worse.
No. What? Okay. All right. The reason I'm saying they're worse than she is, correct, is that on her own, she has no audience in the black community. On her own, no black people are paying her any real attention at all. The whole point of the video that we were playing a clip of is to say the breakfast clubs of the world are giving her a platform and allowing her to now access the black community in almost like a heroic, I survived the white right racist world, and now I'm coming back to the people. And then they let in her very white supremacist ideas under the guise of blackness, liberalism, and progressivism, which makes it worse. That when she is an observable Daily Wire commentator that no black people are listening to, she's not able to perform the political damage that she is when she's invited into nominally black and liberal spaces, which themselves then get more credibility and legitimacy because they're seen as being more distant from the farthest right-wing element that the Candace Owens of the world represent, and therefore make it harder for an actual left analysis to penetrate and be heard, because what could be left of the Breakfast Club? That's my argument. And, you know, so that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm saying she's objectively better and less damaging politically than the Breakfast Club in them. And they make it worse when they bring her in there. And then on top of it, the video's pointing out, look at who they are as people. They're worse than I certainly because again, Joe Budden is another one. Other than one track, I've never paid this man any attention, never listened to his podcast other than a clip here or there. Don't pay him any attention. And all of a sudden he's become, I look up and he's a major player when talking to Black audiences. It's crazy. Go ahead. Anybody? Skip? Anybody? Or we move? Okay. You want to move on?
Jared.
Yeah.
People we don't know can harm us. Simply saying that a Black person doesn't have a Black audience does not mean they cannot work against our interests. In fact, having more influence amongst the white majority puts you in a position to do more harm to Black people than having popularity against the Black community, within the Black community. So we're not talking about who's more popular with what population. When you look at the ideologies, Candace Owens providing unapologetic validation to the most right-wing, reactionary white points of views, stereotypes, agendas, policy platforms is far more detrimental to us collectively, our political and material interests within this country and across the globe, where she said George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose. Now, if you want to talk about how they're worse people personally in their personal lives, that Candace
no, but what makes that argument worse,
dude.
Well, look, you had a long soliloquy, I had mine, and now we're having a conversation. I'm just responding to that one point. Before you go on for another 20 minutes uninterrupted.
Okay. As saying that, well, Charlemagne has committed sexual assault, confessed to sexual assault, where we don't know that Candace Owens has committed sexual assault. So Charlemagne is a certified wop, 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 and Candace Owens is not. Now, that's a comparison we can make. But in the larger scheme of things, in terms of politics, ideology, and long-term impacts, when this Black woman sits across from Nazis, giving them high fives, politically, ideologically, materially, socially, Candace Owens and her ilk are far more dangerous than these literal clowns.
No, not until only when they have a constituency in the Black community, and that's what the Breakfast Club provides them. When she's the lone Black person in the white.
Being popular amongst the oppressed gives you considerably less power than being popular and having status amongst.
You're missing my point. Again, you're missing my point. My point is for Candace Owens to have cachet in the white. The reason she's there is to give some symbolic Blackness to a white supremacist argument. The more she has cachet in the Black community, the stronger her position and the role she plays that you're rightly condemning takes on. So the more there is a Black community pointing to her saying, we don't rock with her. No, it's you're missing power. No, look again. So my argument has been consistent going again. At least my argument has been consistent going back to when I called out John McWhorter. So now you're talking over me. So again, this is what I'm saying, Diallo. You go on, and then you don't let nobody else finish either. And then you say we cut you off. If I don't cut you off, you go on uninterrupted forever. And then when I do finally get a word in, you cut me off and go on another extended soliloquy. So I mean, it's I can't win for losing.
Yeah, I think Diallo has laid out an argument that is like, okay, but I don't think that's the argument anybody was having. So I think if you could make that as a interjection to like, yeah, I think this could have been a lot more productive if it was like, oh, that's an interesting thing to say worse, but we also need to be mindful of. I don't know. Candace Owens is a lab creation because they need a Black face to hide some of the racism, right? Because if you have one person there, if you have one Black person there, that is no longer racist according to white logic, right? Like I just don't understand how that works. But okay, one Black person said it, therefore, it's no longer racist. The other thing is I still don't understand how we disconnect that statement from what you were saying earlier, Diallo, about not being critical of positive propaganda. Because we are told repeatedly that the Breakfast Club is Black media. And if these are the people that are creating Black media, and they've done the Predator thing, and they bring this loony bird on. Well, this is really bad, right? And when we say this is worse, it's worse because you look at Candace Owens and say, this is a loony bird. And you sit down and you engage with Joe Budden and Charlemagne the God in a way that is not nearly as critical as it would be if you were engaging Candace Owens. I think that's what the point of it is. I don't think anybody is saying, therefore, we should not listen to, we should maybe give Candace Owens a chance. The other thing that I saw, and this will be my last point about this topic altogether, was somebody in the chat was talking about the other stuff that was on this dude's channel. And I do think that's important when we pull out this one thing and say, hey, this guy's saying this, but like he was also saying some other things that show that he's probably a loony bird, and we should kind of be aware of that. Oh, and this thing, and broken clocks can be right. In fact, they are right twice a day. So that's it for me.
No doubt. I'm not. I don't know anything else about this dude's platform or anything else, and yeah, I just thought the video was. I actually thought it would have been funny. I thought we was gonna have fun with it because he's making fun of dude. But all right, you know.
First of all, they don't use Candace Owens to hide racism. In fact, that's Charlemagne's job. If you follow Charlemagne's point of view for his forays into politics, he's the one saying you can make it. There's a such thing as black privilege and all that. Her job is to validate racism, to identify black people as unworthy because we have children out of wedlocks and we buy Jordan sneakers. We use broken English. If you look at the right wing, black conservatives, black right wingers are far more harmful and have been doing far more damage over a much longer period of time than these black centrists, these hollow, vacuous black.
I actually don't agree with that either.
And okay, I accept that you don't.
And the reason is because they're so few, and they don't have they have no attention in the black community.
And as I was saying, the hide racism, where you said she was not brought on to hide racism. If you watch her, and everyone says nobody pays attention to her, and I can tell you this, as a community, the people we pay no attention are in a position to do more harm to you than the people we watch. The people operating outside of our scope are in a position. And this Blackford and this trying to concern, it's two different arenas. And I'm telling you, whether it's your intention or not, coming to our community that already has a deficit of radical leftist revolutionary analysis and talking about a conservative is worse than someone you identify as a liberal, when I wouldn't even call the motherfuckers liberal when you really look.
Well, I'm using their language though. That's point. Their language. Yes,
you're using their language, so you're advancing their myths and their bullshit.
I'm not advancing it.
Accurate language. Let's use
Diallo. You can't say I'm advancing it. You're taking everything I'm saying out of context. God damn.
My ultimate point is, because like I said, I've been seeing this everywhere. They're worse than Candace Owens. They're worse than the Democrats. They're worse. When the comparison is either inaccurate or unnecessary. I myself have called out Charlemagne and these popular black figures, but I'm telling you that the black conservative Clarence Thomas, who no black person pays attention to, no black person. I've read this long article. Every time I want to find anything out about Clarence Thomas and what he's up to, I got to go to right-wing media that I got to go way outside of my sphere to find information on Clarence Thomas. And Clarence Thomas has single-handedly done more to subvert anything that can be defined as black status or black progress in this country, and no black people fuck with him. They were even going to give him.
Again, I don't agree with that.
These unpopular, unseen, nobody fucks with them conservatives get to fuck us up in peace while we make these fallacious comparison about who's better and who's worse.
So first of all, the video isn't doing that So again, the video, so just to be clear, the video you did not watch is not making that argument. The person you're talking to and me sitting here right now live with you on this video is not making that argument.
You said
so hold on, let me again, but the argument you're making, but the argument, but the reason I'm making it is not the reason is not your argument. You refuse to listen to my argument and only want to follow the headline, which is exactly what you did to condemn this video, which is a methodological flaw. So just clarify, your whole methodological approach to this discussion is a mess and is leading you to flawed conclusions. It is in fact.
You're so wrong that the word wrong does not sufficiently describe your wrongness. You are, as they say, fractally wrong.
I'm on tape.
You are wrong at every conceivable level of resolution.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, actually, now the argument I am making is that what Candace represents is a politics that is horrible, worse than the politics represented by the more popular so-called liberals in our spaces and so on. All of that, I grant all of that. What makes her less worse as a figure herself is not the politics she's representing, which are in fact worse. It is that her impact is worsened when she's brought into spaces that are nominally supposed to be a challenge to her and the politics she represents, and given welcomed, friendly space to spill her nonsense. And
have you watched any of her interviews on Black media?
Yes. In fact, I watched them.
Which one? And tell me, they have
note again that you cut me off. Note again that you cut me off after I let you finish. They put up what I've seen on the Breakfast Club included are softball challenges at best, and more
they got.
So that's my point. And they make her seem respectable and legitimate and someone Black audiences should pay attention to. The reason why you're wrong about Clarence Thomas is that the politics he represents would be carried on anyway. And he would be a more effective monster were more Black people not fooled by his madness. He would be more effective. He was selected to give cover to the white supremacists to the extent as possible on the right wing. That's exactly why they selected him in the first place. That's exactly why Candace Owens was selected by the Daily Wire and her crew, is to give some sort of false veneer to their politics. They are made more effective when they have more of a Black audience. John McWhorter, same thing, was hired by the Manhattan Institute to do the same thing years ago. The fact that he has no Black constituency until people like Dyson and others were bringing him into Black spaces was what made him less effective in doing what it is that he's there to do, because they can't hold him at the same thing. That's why when he does his podcast to this day with Glenn Lowry, Black people are not watching that. And if Glenn Lowry and John McWhorter started being brought into what are nominally Black progressive or liberal spaces, their effectiveness would be magnified and increased.
Okay, Black popularity power. I asked you this. I'm very curious. You saying
pop culture is a political weapon, so you're making fun of it with a phrase, but you are making my point. You are right about that. It is a weapon. It is
that if Clarence Thomas was invited to the cookout, he could do more harm than he's already done.
He would, yeah, I think he would have been more effective.
Can you give me some type of example of how that would work?
Barack Obama did as much, if not more, violence to the world than the right wing during his 8 years, and Black people and so many progressives.
I asked you about Clarence Thomas.
No, you just said, can you give me an example of how I make my point? I just gave you one.
Allow me to ask again. How could Clarence Thomas have done even more harm than he's done if he had a Black support base?
Obama is my answer to that.
What else could Clarence Thomas himself as the person
but no, I mean,
That's
I
not-
don't quite understand the question that you're asking, Diallo.
He said
He doesn't
that
either.
Clarence
He doesn't
Thomas
either.
could have done if Clarence Thomas had status and popularity amongst the black community, he could have done even worse than he's done.
I
So
remember
I'm
being a kid.
curious.
I remember being a kid. We were out of school. I was at my grandparents' house, and they were showing the Anita Hill things on TV. And I vividly remember black people being like, "She's trying to bring this black man down." Like, that black popularity is what, like, we kind of got Clarence Thomas, because it was like we really got hoodwinked. Thurgood Marshall gone. We gonna replace him with a black guy. This is the black guy. This black lady is making these accusations, trying to bring this black man down. I vividly remember people being like, she was put up to this to bring this black guy down. Like, I vividly remember that.
Okay, I don't think my question was answered in terms of.
Can you ask it in a different way, or can we move on? Because it just seems like we're not going to agree on this. And
well, I'll just make a statement instead of asking a question.
Okay.
In the arena that Candace Owens works in, the political and pro-corporate fascist right-wing arena, your consent is not sought or needed to go about doing harm to our community specifically, but to the world and to the African world on a broader scale. And I think it is a myth thinking that, well, for a black person to really do harm, they need to or can do more harm if they're more popular amongst black people. I just don't see evidence of that, being that I've just seen so many people in every arena, from private to public sector, who don't really have any, aren't even known by our larger community, that fucking do us in, that do us the fuck in, that we don't know their names and they don't move or come amongst us. And they're black. But I just don't. I think that our acknowledgement, our support, our love of an individual. I agree that Obama fucking took and corrupted the black masses because of his popularity. He didn't just fucking utilize but he's a very, very extremely unique individual, being from the liberals, but the vast majority of those black people, from centrist to right, because Obama is even a centrist, but you know, I guess we're gonna have to disagree on this.
No, but my point is, Obama's career perfectly makes my point. Actually, if you carefully look at his career back from even his attempt to unseat Bobby Rush, the ultimate effectiveness of his ability to carry out the politics of this empire required not only that he be black, but that he have support from the black community to be convincing as a so-called representative of that community. That's why, you know, a J.C. Watts types and a Clarence Thomas types and even a Colin Powell type, they didn't have the relationship to the black community to become even more effective political operatives and supporters of evil and right-wing politics than they were. That's my point. So that's why Obama is the epitome of all of that. So, you know,
but
you know, so yeah. So, but again,
Candace Owens is far worse in terms of politics and the context
I don't agree
that they operate in than a Joe
the politics she represents are worse, but her effectiveness is not worse.
Personal people, maybe, I don't know her personal life.
I'm not talking about the personal. I'm talking about the politics, her impact. I'm not talking about any of the. I'm talking about only the.
But as an entity, as they exist in public life, Candace Owens seeks to do more harm and has done more harm than Charlemagne. And I'm not saying if Charlemagne ever got in that position, because the guy literally said Charlemagne has failed to cross over. They've given this guy show after show, opportunity after opportunity.
That's my point. He's only has an effective audience with the black community. That's my point.
Whereas Candace Owens didn't have to cross over because she started out over. She didn't even have to start there and get over there. She started at the position that Charlemagne was trying to get to, which is having prominence and status within the white psyche, amongst white folks. getting them white dollars.
Yeah. That's exactly my point.
Hey, the plane has been landed. The plane has been landed.
So Charlemagne has failed at what Candace Owens has succeeded in doing, which makes her by default worse.
Okay, the map has been slapped.
No, because
Hey, the map has been slapped. That's what used to happen back on the old
what
days.
you want to get to? There's nothing else on the run sheet, literally.
There's something I wanted to talk about.
Did you?
I didn't put it. Listen,
can we put the? They said, okay, all right. Well, I'll start finding things that I had. Okay.
No, I mean,
I didn't follow protocol. I put it in our ongoing conversation. But I know,
and that's why I was requesting the run sheet. Because to sift through an ongoing is crazy.
Huh? What it is?
What did you put in here, man? What is this that you put on here?
You talking to me?
Yeah. We're not really going to talk about that. You put in something in the chat.
Said I haven't done anything.
You literally didn't you put this in the chat? Isn't this you putting something in the chat?
You talking about?
Our EYL chat.
Oh. No, I didn't.
That's not you.
Where? What does it say? What are you referring to?
I'm not bringing it up. I'm looking at the WhatsApp chat. The very last thing you put in there. You just put it in there.
Let me see. Oh,
didn't you just put it in there?
Yeah. See, that's. I'm saying, talk about worse than Candace Owens. You know what? It breaks my heart.
Now we agree. Now we agree.
Now, let me say yes. Now, God damn it. Now we're getting into the arena of worse. Now that's an appropriate worse. But yeah, that's wild, right? Come back here. Get back on here. Stay on deck.
I'm right here.
Get your ass back over here. Let's talk about something that's worthy of our time. Forbes. You see, let's get back. Let's pull it together, because then Geechee gonna be able to come back here and make claims that his presence is.
Did you talk about on your show or anywhere the assassination attempt?
Oh,
what are you talking about? See, I was about to bring something up.
I didn't know. We don't have to. I thought people in the chat were waiting for it. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Where I'm going to
look
go
at Skipp's face.
Let me tell you where I'm going with this. Can I tell you something about that attempt?
Mm-hmm.
It was staged. Crisis actors.
Listen.
You, Alex Jones, is over here.
Listen,
don't Alex Jones over here.
TSA, SNL, whoever need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, LNOS. Look. Oh. LONS, look. Diallo is speaking for Diallo. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, word up.
If you want to know what I think,
disclaimers.
I'm about to get my Alex Jones on.
Hey, listen, folks. This ain't got
the
nothing
reptilian
to do with
overlords.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with Skipp.
Are staging the reptilian overlords.
Yeah, there you go.
Are staging these gun assaults in order to take away our rights. The UN
I'm going to take the week off.
The UN is on the northern border, and the Chinese are on the Mexican border, and they're coming in to impose UN sanctions. They're coming in to impose martial law.
To take your guns. To take your guns.
Crisis actors. They're all crisis actors.
Look,
it was a staged false flag Illuminati. False flag Illuminati.
Listen.
Yes,
so,
I'm going with that shit.
Tafar.
We finally get to do it to them.
Tafar,
let's do it.
Tafar can back me up on this, right? So Tafar can back me up on this. I told Miles Garvey that I'd take him shooting. I think when he turned like 10, like 9 to 10, whatever it was, I just gave him age. I was like, I'll take you to shoot your gun when you get this old, right? So when I go out there, we finna shoot, and then I think August ain't got no gun, and I'm not finna buy August a gun because that's nonsensical. Because August is 3 years younger than Miles Garvey, right? I was like, I'll buy. I'll buy August a BB gun, and we put like the little target in the back. So we out here. So we going to buy the BB gun and the steel target. We just gonna throw a little copper, right? I go to the gun shop, and you know who in the gun shop. And this dude was like, he showed me a round that I had never seen before. I forget what it is, but it's like half the size of a 5.56. And this dude was like, this will pierce a blue hat at 200 yards. I was like, a blue hat? So like me and my brother lead to far in the car. We trying to figure out what a blue hat is. This man was talking about the United Nations hats. These people are crazy. Crazy people. They really do believe this nonsense. So they live in a world that we will never inhabit because we live in this world and they live in a fantasy world. And like, I ain't getting involved in.
First of all, I gotta address something out the gate, because I agree with you on that, but please don't take your children shooting. Please. Even though, yeah, I'm not even on my vegan tree hugging piece. Bullets contain lead, and when that metal strikes that surface and that gunpowder creates a microscopic explosion within a cylinder, that a large portion of that lead gets vaporized into particles that are airborne, that are inhaled. Bullet gun ranges are classified as Superfund sites. They are lead contaminated. And even Dick Gregory touched on something decades ago where he talked about a lot of police behavior is identical to lead poisoning and lead from depression, irritability, violence. And when you look at the behaviors of police that we condemn and call out, and you look at the symptoms of lead poisoning on one's psychological state and behavioral patterns, they line up identically.
Oh, wow.
Not to say that racism isn't present, but that racism is fueled by lead poisoning. And I tell all my people, yeah, get a BB gun, get a slingshot. There's several things that you can give your children that don't contain lead that can help with their acuity, their coordination, their aiming, and all of that. But at least when they're in the developmental stages of where their neural development, where their growth plates are still fusing, you do not want children, and I see people showing those videos of little blonde haired white girls walking through these gun ranges, and they're like, yeah, while our kids are playing Xbox, their kids are doing that. Let them. I'm telling you, lead contamination and gun culture.
Man, I hate to agree with Diallo, but
a lot of people are like, oh, these pro-gun people, they're all conservative, they're all low IQ, they're stupid. Being pro-gun and the lead toxicity that is associated with being pro-gun is tied to conservative. Go read what they call it, the Republican brain or whatever, that book that came out during the Bush administration. It was a minute ago, but the conservative brain or the right-wing brain, I don't remember. I have to pull that out. But man, please don't take your babies to the gun range. Please don't have them out there shooting bullets. The shells, lead is everywhere and off of everything.
And this is saying, I just did a quick search while you were talking and still talking.
I'm sorry.
He's still going. My bad.
Yeah, this is serious, man.
I'm just trying to agree with you. That's all. And I'm saying, I'm looking it up. It says even outdoor spaces, even outdoor ranges are unsafe.
That's correct, so, man. Appreciate
when
that.
they were like, I'll pump you full of lead. That shit is real. That's not just pure. Those bullets are made of, and the dust, the residue is what gets you. It's on the gun. It's in the air. It gets on your clothes, your earmuffs, and even if you're wearing, you have to wear like a rebreather and a hazmat suit. And I'm not telling black folks to give up your guns or not to shoot or train with your guns, but our children, Get them sling, like you said, BB guns. You're on point. Get them little BB guns, those little airsoft. Get them a paint gun. And some of those paint guns, get them a paint gun. But really, it should be 25 or older before you start like shooting live ammo.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely take that.
The negative effects, but in the neurodevelopmental stage, that's when lead can do the most harm to children. Don't shoot. Don't take your children with you to shoot. Don't let them access to your guns. Don't even let them around. Like when you go in, the clothes you wear to the range, take that shit outside, put it in a plastic bag. You know, or just go get one. You can get a home lead testing kit at like Walmart to test for lead paint. Just get one of those and swab your guns. Swab the barrel of your gun and put it in the lead testing kit, and you'll see right there.
Oh wow, man, that's what's up. But yeah, we was out there, and that man, like, and maybe it is lead brain, but like,
yes,
that is crazy.
So the only day, so when I looked, what little attention I paid to this, admittedly, was the first thing that I saw immediately, and I mentioned this the other day, were black social media folks praising this, comedians, TikTok praising, not in the sense that there was an attempt on Trump's life, but praising Trump as being the blackest candidate ever, as someone they'll now vote for. As it seemed like I was getting a lot of these in my feeds and sent to me, so I don't know if it was just, I don't know to what extent that is actually happening, or if it just feels magnified in my space. But that was the first actual thing that drew my attention from this. In terms of the conspiracy claims, apparently the kid was seen on the roof and just acted faster than security was apparently able to move. I did hear one report where, because my initial thought in terms of conspiracy was, how did you miss a rifle shot from that distance from anyone with any practice or skill? I would think would be possible. The other thing was when they said he missed the headshot, I was like, well, then maybe it wasn't a seasoned sniper, because from what I understand from watching snipers on YouTube and their videos, they say you never go for the head, you always go for the body. So the fact that he missed a headshot suggested that he didn't know what he was doing and that he was supposed to be going for the torso. And then to confirm that last point, apparently this kid was removed from some military style, youthful, whatever thing that he was in because he is a bad shot. So, or was a bad shot. So then that all made, ended up making sense in the sense of why he would have missed. Cause that was one of my initial thoughts was, how did you miss? And why were you not shooting why are you trying to take a headshot if you know what you're doing as a sniper? That's not supposed to be what you're doing. But beyond that, the only other thing that I see is that Trump seems to have gotten a boost. And now that Biden has been reported to have COVID on top of it, not only is Trump looking stronger and can duck bullets, and God has him. I saw one person saying God had him turn his head at the right moment to save his life. Biden is getting sick and looking even more, incapable. So I don't know. My wish that they both lose looks.
You're giving this too much thought and consideration. I say we.
Am I?
Our moment,
I feel
and
like
you let it pass. There was no bullet. There was never a bullet. He had a blood packet in his hand. He was told, "We see the cue." There was no bullet. There were actually 5 shooters.
If you're falling for this, I gotta take a week off. I can't do this show for a week.
He squirted the blood packet. We saw it was not even Trump. It was a clone. That was not Trump on stage. Trump was actually in the basement of the Pentagon. Listen, this is our moment. Us on the left, this is our chance. And here y'all come on with all this sensible assertion. But let me tell you the ultimate conclusion. I care about Trump being shot as much as Trump would care about me being shot.
Okay.
Now that I think that is safe to say, because I was getting out of here. I was about to change my name, but then I just went away. Because listen,
Remember when that dude bum rushed Nancy Pelosi's husband with the hammer? Remember? Somebody,
Actually, I don't remember
Trump's, and the kid who shot was a registered Republican who had MAGA and Trump 2024 yard signs, his neighbors reported. It was an inside job. So when the dude ran up and said that you guys stole democracy and stopped the steal and ran up into Nancy Pelosi's house and beat her husband, who was knocking on 90 years old, about the head with a hammer, the conservatives were like, they were in a sexual relationship. They live in California, San Francisco. They were in an intimate relationship, and they got into a spat because he wouldn't leave Nancy Pelosi to be in an open gay relationship with the man who assaulted him. The right has uncouth. They say, so this is our moment, and we are completely wasting it. There's so many conspiracies to glean from this. If the shoe was on the other foot, can you imagine what the fucking right would be saying? If it was
I think
Biden.
that is a far more appropriate conversation to be having. Like, listen, man,
y'all missing this
man.
moment. It's I just hate we waste the left.
And that is often what I talk about. Like, so what I will talk about is so I don't know if it's national news or not, but Benny Thompson, who's like, I don't know if y'all know who Benny Thompson is, but like he was on the January. Okay, good. But like, you know, like he's from my district. So like, you know, Benny Thompson. Somebody on his staff locally said something about, you know, you got to be careful out here. Like it was like making light of it. And he fired her. And now Republican folks are still calling for Benny Thompson to resign. Like,
oh no, it's worse than that. And here's the story you're talking about. Benny Thompson's staff are no longer employed after Trump shooting post. I don't condone violence, but please get some shooting lessons so you don't miss next time. Oops, that wasn't me talking. So the worse than that is that one half of Tenacious D, the legendary comedic rock group featuring Jack Black, said the same fucking thing, and they're about to get my man Jack Black canceled. He said the same thing.
Canceled, hit the tour, and broke up the group. Jack punk ass Black.
Oh, did he break up the group after that?
Yeah, he canceled the tour and will not be doing any more public appearances with that dude. And Tenacious D is no more with his punk ass. Jack Black.
I didn't get that update.
Jack White.
Jack White. Yo, they've been together for decades. And it's a wrap.
These liberals, man, they're more interested in being right than they are being winners. You know.
Damn. Oh, he's a Zionist? Jack Black is a Zionist?
Where?
Effusive stoic, you can't be right. I don't see. That's why I don't be believing these anonymous folks on the chat. Jack Black is a motherfucking superhero. It's like I'm just playing. I like Jack Black though. I like his, you know,
the frenetic comedy like Robin Williams and Jack Black's. I've never been like a big fan of that. Like, calm the fuck down, be cool. Like them frenetic white comedians. I don't like that shit. I can't have no white dude being all, you know, kind of, you know, shaky around me.
Manny, why is no one doing a real analysis of that people can use? Am I missing something? Chat, you all have recommendations. I want to find some info with people that I can't find anything. You talk about the assassination attempt. Yeah, I apologize if I can't contribute. If we're not helping with a real analysis of the assassination attempt.
Wait, what?
If that's what you meant, I'm not even sure that's what.
let me tell you.
Oh,
something.
now you on the Summer Jam screen? I mean, my bad. I thought. I'm trying to help you out. My fault. It's not a Summer Jam call out. It was just. I acknowledge that we're not hitting maybe a certain level of analysis. I'm not mad at that.
And the reason being is because we are not in like physical community. Like, I have a lot to say about this topic. I'm not gonna say it on the internet because I need my job.
Well, I will at least say that I saw a little bit of you might want to check. I don't know I don't know ultimately what he ended up saying and what he ultimately. My only criticism of this dude is that he didn't step up to defend Mumia at one point when requested, but unless I missed it. But Richard Medhurst seemed to have said a couple things that I appreciated about it, that Trump has himself supported armed violence against his political enemies. He supported targeted assassination, in particular with the Iraqi official or the Iranian official killed in Iraq. Military. What was his name? But anyway, so I mean that. So to disassociate acts of violence carried out or targeting him from the political violence and militarism he has supported and continues to support. Soleimani, thank you, Chitty Macha. If I think to divorce all of that from that context would be mistaken, and I hear you, but I think, Skip, your point is a good one, that a lot of what should be said and a lot of the analysis that should be offered really cannot be in these YouTube streets and on these media streets. So yeah, I hear you.
Listen, it's what I mean. I don't really even think it's fair because that's all both sides of the very limited political spectrum in the context of the Overton window. They all engage in illegal assassinations of prominent political figures and heads of state. So Trump did Soleimani. Obama didn't only kill a non-political figure, but a cleric. He assassinated his son a day and a half later, his 16-year-old son. So Obama was taking out religious figures and their children.
No question.
Accused of anything. But Trump went a step further, calling for the internment, deportation, and Second Amendment solutions against his internal political rival, which prior to his elevation within the political sphere was something that even Ronald Reagan and the most virulent prominent conservatives didn't do. So that is the new thing. It didn't start or finish with him assassinating overseas or calling against violence illegally against overseas, but internally, that rhetoric, the Gore v. Bush, and you go back to any other election talking about, if I'm elected, I will have my opponent locked up. And that's what Trump brought it to a whole new level. And Trump said if he's not reelected, there's going to be blood in the streets. He just didn't know it was going to be his. He didn't specify whose blood. And MAGA heads are so goddamn stupid. You got to be more specific. You got to put it in like Crayola level analysis, because he was like, if I don't win, there will be blood in the street, and blood is blood, Trump. Blood is blood.
Hey,
he just never thought it would be his blood. So, and can I ask one more thing? Because I hear all this talk, Trump is going to rise. Trump is going to, I know mad people been shot. And generally, when people get shot, their cachet goes down. Like, you stupid, what was you out there doing? You had into some stuff you had no business being into, woo, woo, woo. I don't know one person who was anti-Trump. And I'm not just talking about people in my sphere, but journalists, commentators, all these people saying now Trump is going to rise. He's going to rise amongst African Americans. They're doing these 50-cent Trump memes and all that. I don't know one person that wasn't already a right-wing reactionary who was lured to Trump's side because they were inspired or motivated by him getting his ear clipped. Can someone please identify that person? Because everybody's talking about these people exist. But show me somebody who has a track record of being anti-MACA or even neutral. And then after the bullet whizzed by, they finally went over to the Trump. Find that person, because everybody's talking about those people exist, but no one's giving me an example. Because everyone I see saying that shit was already in that camp before the bullet whizzed.
Yeah, I think that's what's odd for me. Is like this idea that that there are people that's on the middle and they're being swayed. I just don't really see that in the things that I've read, in the way that I kind of understand these things. I don't see there being the middle. What I see is people wrestling with, do I really want to admit what this says about me by making this decision? And I think that's the part that's like really interesting for me as a person, because like I don't see even when we talk about the media's portrayal of Trump and his support, it'd be real funny looking when you get like away from the mainstream media and see like these zoom outs of the crowd. Like their Republican convention was not crowded. So like I really don't know what we're talking about.
And can I pose a scenario? Let's say you're both staunchly outside of the Biden camp.
Yes.
And let's say Biden caught a clip, right? Would that in any way move your position on Biden?
No.
So why do we assume that people who weren't at this juncture in the Trump camp, because Trump has saturated the media. You ever see those calculations that if Trump had to pay for the level of media exposure he was, like other politicians have to pay to get put on, how much money, how much free media coverage and publicity he received? You ever see those weird ass accounting figures?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the multiple billions. So why do we assume that Trump has that type? There are people out there that are so uniquely wired in their brains that a scumbag, to somebody to realize he's not worthy of support, acknowledgement, he's not a serious political figure, he's all the threats and all that shit, but him a bullet and him doing this bullshit would sway him.
I think you both make good points, except that one, I think we have to remember that again, algorithmically and whatnot, we're not likely to see people in our spaces that would be swayed by this. So the people so for instance, the messages, the videos that were sent to me and stuff like that regarding Black people, these are people that present themselves as either apolitical or, well, just that really, just apolitical, who were just joking and saying that now I'll vote for him. So I'm not saying that should be taken that seriously, but we're not likely to see people in our spaces that would change from this. So that's one thing. The other thing is that I think that part of the popular mainstream media discussion of it, what little of it I've seen, is attempting to make use of it for its already existing political purposes, to your point, Diallo. So except that where I see this is seemingly led to a little bit more of discussion in Democratic Party spaces for pushing Biden to go ahead and step down and be replaced. But again, so that's really it.
But I have to say, I agree with what you're saying, except for where you started off. Don't make assumptions about my algorithm, because my shit is mad contaminated. I mean, right wing. I've blocked no less than 100 fucking right wing reactionaries. Real talk. So I mean, you just go to. I don't know how the fuck this shit happened, but my algorithm is for shit. So I am hearing and seeing what these right wingers are doing and saying.
That's funny, because every time I open up my social media, it's nothing but love and praise and a bunch of beautiful light. And
look at this shit.
Well, because you out here inviting. Look at you. You invite.
I know. I blocked.
Look at you with your pretty pictures.
That's an accurate digital representation. What are you talking about? What I'm saying is just look at the comments. These I don't know how they find me or where they be seeing me at, but I've blocked
because you put these beautiful memes together.
I've blocked no less than 100 of these white right-wing folks. So like I'm just saying, my online interactions, I unfortunately do hear and engage, not in real life. You know, I don't want you to thank Jesus on my behalf, Skipp, that that I don't deal with these motherfuckers in real life, but in line, algorithmically, these right-wing conservative MAGA motherfuckers have infected and infested my shit.
Total revolution. Either you have lost your ability to enjoy humor or you don't understand social media and media in general. Everybody's in their own echo chamber.
Yeah.
So,
also, I would like to add, I don't know what my feed does because I'm not on any of it.
There you go.
Yeah, like, you know, like I walked away and I stayed away and I'm enjoying being away. I will say this though. My YouTube videos are really not changing anything yet, which is really interesting. That's like really interesting, like how my YouTube videos haven't changed, and I haven't seen much about the assassination attempt, but in news I do see people saying like, you know, it's not changing anything. He didn't receive a bump for it.
Yeah, I just don't buy that. I think the media is. I mean, they said it during his first campaign. There was some media figure said, like the head of CNN at the time was like, he's bad for America, but he's good for business. Yep. and are good for media. He's good for our business in terms of the media business because he's a fucking clown. It's just the most absurd person. Like, it hurts my brain to listen to this guy because it insults my intelligence. It's just offensive just listening to this motherfucker ramble. I'm like, wow, who's buying this shit?
Wasn't it Les Moonves that said got caught on whatever saying that he's bad for the country but good for ratings? Something like that. Yeah, we on the same page.
All the way back to the early 90s to the coup, and they have this freestyling at the Fortune 500. They have this song called Freestyling at the Fortune 500, where each of them take on the persona of Getty and Rockefeller, and they're rapping as though, you know, as though literally it's a dope song, Freestyling at the Fortune 500, but the very last verse is Trump. But there's like ad-libbing, like even the elites, the Gettys, the Trumps, the DuPonts, when Trump comes around, they're like, oh my God, here he comes. Don't look at him. Don't speak to him. Oh my gosh. And he was a joke. And he was like, oh, you guys are freestyling. Can I get into it? And then they start rapping like Trump, where they're talking about ruling the world, dominating industries, extracting resources, you know, wiping out or displacing population. Trump is just rapping about his baby mamas and how they trying to take him to court and shit. So even, and that's in the early, that's like 91, 92. Trump was always a fucking joke. Always. So he's still a joke. He's still a clown. And everybody talk about how Obama's a puppet. I don't think there's been a more puppet-tiered, externally controlled candidate than Trump. He did not know any of the candidates he appointed to the Supreme Court. He couldn't half remember their names. Every cabinet appointee, they literally would bring, they said Trump could not read. And they had to put his name in his briefings in order to get him to pay attention to it. And they had to blow up the font and put more images in there. So Trump is the biggest fucking puppet, but because he's a mediocre or below average white man, he's the greatest ever. And everybody was talking about how Obama was a puppet and all these people are puppets. Show me a bigger political puppet. more controlled and directed puppet than Trump in the entirety of U.S. political history. But white people are exempt from the criticisms we level against ourselves a lot of time, or people we think are from us.
So I think that's a compelling point. I would like, just in terms of time, I see we're at 9:45. There's 3 stories that I would like to at least reference. I don't know what
I got one, but so
and I don't know if you all are in a particular time crunch. We can start with yours if you want, Diallo.
But I also okay, but I'll pick
or
that
not
up. Something
or go ahead or continue.
No.
I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was just trying to check for time.
If I thought you were, I'd definitely cry out.
Yeah,
if I see something, I will say something. I've learned that. But you hip to this story, the bait and switch?
I don't know.
Black ownership bait and switch.
Oh, why Ice Cube is selling ownership of his big 3 basketball franchises?
Why did Jay-Z sell his stake in the
But wait. But didn't Ice Cube actually own this? Was he really just a 1% owner like Jay-Z was?
He was a co-owner. But remember Geechee when his nosy ass was trying to find the percentage, and even Tenacious Gee said that we can take that word.
Tenacious Gee.
It's up for grabs. So he's Tenacious Gee. You know, with his fingers, you know how he be pulling up people's business. Even remember, Tenacious Gee was looking for Ice Cube's percentage of the partnership, and if Geechee couldn't find it, then it ain't out there. So we don't know what percentage ownership he has. But this is the black ownership bait and switch. How many more times we gonna fall for this okie doke? Oh, black man owns his own sport league. He don't just own a team. He owns his own league. We fall for that shit every time. And to any white venture capitalists listening, if you need a prominent partner, we need another word because we know what a silent partner is. What's the opposite of a silent partner? Because the silent partner has all the power and influence, but nobody sees it. But the person who has next to no power is way out front.
So, but what is his? So he sold the LA franchise in May for $10 million, apparently.
Yes.
And what else is he looking to do here?
He sold it for $10 million.
Is Big Three?
That's what this one's. I don't know. And this one story I just pulled up now says Big Three sells LA franchise for US $10 million in first team deal. So yeah, 10 million. I don't know how successful it is.
Do you know anybody who watches it?
No. But I don't know any. I mean, I don't know really anybody, period. So I don't know what people be doing. But I don't watch it.
Do you know anybody who watch it, Skip?
Yeah, people that like basketball watch it, in my experience.
I like the idea of it initially. That the idea that you would have a different league, a different game, older players could still play, you know, whatever. So Ice Cube, what does it say? And what is it? Quantitz? Is that his partner? Yeah.
Remember, Geechee posted his picture, showed his baby mamas and his mistresses. Geechee, I don't know why it looks blurry on my screen, but I hope it looks good to y'all. But
no, I see it.
We don't know what cut he's getting of all that, and they're basically trying to disperse it, but they're speaking in such a language to suggest that the league needs an infusion of capital, but they don't want to say it. You know, provide them with further.
Well, Ice Cube had been going around saying, I did see last year where he had been going around saying that the NBA had been blocking ad buyers from working with them.
Yeah.
And he was making an appeal to them saying, work with us, don't work against us. But apparently the NBA felt they were somehow a threat to the bottom line. So yeah, that makes sense.
But are you interested in owning a big three franchise? Because they're not just working with people who can write big checks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can we put a collective bid together and we'll have an EYL
I already
team?
got a name, the Bucktown Ball Chasers. So if y'all want to come in on it, I got a jar full of quarters. I got a jar that's halfway. I got a apple juice jar that's halfway full of quarters. Y'all go ahead and get whatever nest egg you've been working on. They're not just selling these $10 million franchises to people who can write big checks. So they still got this whole bootstrap rhetoric embedded in this fucking deal.
Oh, wait. Thank you, Jalal, for giving a summary for those who weren't aware. The Big Three, the 3-on-3 basketball league co-founded by hip-hop star Ice Cube in 2017, has sold 4 of its franchises, and those will reside in Miami, LA, Detroit, and Houston. And yes, Reese, we
Oh shit, we get in the golf league too. I forgot that part.
So, but I think to your point about the bait and switch, this is what we keep covering here. It feels like every week almost there's another black business that was supposed to create generational wealth and close the racial wealth divide and this, that, and the third. They're selling to white venture capitalists and owners and corporations. That's the whole business model, really, for everybody. Certainly black businesses, but really for everybody. You grow till you can get bought out. Yeah. And then you get bought out. That's why even in the white world, there's only one Walmart and one Amazon and one Google. So, and one Microsoft, which is actually a good segue to the story I did want to touch on. But I'm happy to have you all. I'll just do this for the sake of of valuing this the segue.
Can I
here.
just say one more thing?
Keep going. No, please keep going. Yeah, that's it.
Why are they
keep
saying
going.
Ice Cube as if Ice Cube is the soul? Why is Ice Cube? Why don't they say the other dude?
That's
name, like
black popularity power. There it is, Diallo. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
You got what you got. All right. But yeah, but the reason, but the tendency towards monopoly is why the whole world basically got shut down in their flights last night, because everybody's using Microsoft and CrowdStrike, and apparently they're saying some update crashed the system and got everybody stranded. Selfishly, my loving traveling family avoided some of this, but Microsoft and the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike have issued fixes for the global outage impacting computers running the Windows operating system, though issues still linger as the outage has forced major airlines to ground flights, disrupted television, and put banking services offline. That's why I couldn't get into my account. But yeah, so the outage has been blamed on software update by cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. The underlying issue causing outages for Microsoft's 365 apps and services has been fixed. CrowdStrike president and chief executive George Kurtz said the company was actively working with customers impacted. Microsoft said it is aware of the issue affecting machines running Windows. The U.S. emergency alert system said 911 lines in multiple states were down. According to Federal Aviation Administration, nearly all major American carriers have been forced to temporarily ground flights. The London Stock Exchange Group said its workspace platform was also facing an outage, and CrowdStrike shares tanked nearly 16.8 to 16.8% as a result. But my point being, to Diallo, your point, or all of our points, is that Microsoft gobbled up its competitors or potential competitors because by buying them.
Produced a better product. When
you go.
Bill Gates was in his parents' garage tinkering, and came up with a superior product
without his college degree.
He doesn't wear Jordans. I don't think his wife has eyelashes or acrylic nails.
Well, they divorced, didn't they? Does he even have a wife anymore?
His ex-wife. Fine. His ex-wife.
Didn't she leave? Because wasn't he? I don't want to. I mean, he was on one of them Epstein flights, but I thought that they got
competition in the free market, Jared.
No, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs dead, ain't it?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about not Steve Jobs. I'm talking about Bill Gates. Did I say Steve Jobs? I meant Bill Gates. If I said Steve Jobs, I said Bill Gates. Maybe I meant to be talking about Bill Gates.
Because when he was talking about in his garage, that's the same thing they say about.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 2 F's. His wife left him over Epstein.
They all started out in a musty, crusty garage, tinkering away at circuit boards with no help.
Oh yeah, they all have the same background. Yeah, that's why you got confused because they all have the same.
Amazon started in his parents' garage.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's the American dream, and why the three of us haven't gone in our garages and started our multi-billion-dollar projects is just because of our financial illiteracy and a culture of black backwardness.
And if we would have paid that $90 to go on that yacht, we could have met folks.
See that?
Yes, all successful business starting in a garage, right? So if you grew up in if you grew up in an apartment building, I mean, you just born with an impossible barrier. So
people were sharing this meme unironically as well. So
yeah, no, I'm sure. But that's why that's at least my reason I didn't create one, because I grew up in an apartment. So I don't know. We didn't have a garage. But now I have a garage, so my children
get out there.
My children, I don't know. They better, we better get busy. As soon as we go off air, I'm about to hit the garage and come up with the next multi-billion-dollar industry.
I can't. I have no room. It's full of bicycles and
plants.
Yeah,
and fertilizer.
No, that's where the plants go.
Plant food.
It's a plant. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Gardening. My garage is full of hoes.
Oh wow.
And rakes.
You just a mess. So look. All right. So that was the other one, and then the last one that I wanted to just quickly bring up is our favorite revolutionary leaders are endorsing genocide by backing Biden. So to the point we were raising earlier, AOC is saying, look, you could make as many attempts on the life of the other candidate. I'm sticking with this one because he stands by the taking of the lives of all Palestinians. So I'm paraphrasing, of course, but AOC said more or less something like that. That's at least how I'm interpreting this. So
can anyone name, just out of curiosity, can anyone name?
Oh wait, I did have one more. My bad. Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Can anyone? I'm just for my own edification. Can anyone name a candidate that's not tied to genocidal atrocities, or elected president that isn't tied to genocidal atrocities?
Easy.
You got one for me?
I'm rocking their shirt right now.
Who you talking about?
Claudia and Karina.
No, elected.
Oh, sorry. Let me think about that.
I'm sorry. Did I say candidate? I probably said candidate. I meant elected. Somebody who actually took office.
That's a good question. Let's think. Go ahead, Skip. What's up?
Because I don't even think Obama was genocidal until he took office.
All right. So look, that's funny. So here there's like, if you get so many signatures, that's how you get on the state ballot. They had these hippie looking weirdos, you know what I'm saying, like out like, yeah, we're campaigning to get Claudia and Karina on the ballot. Like she had on the shirt that was like "End Capitalism." And I was like, all right, like I'm fucking with you. Let me see your thing. I'll sign it. And then you lift up the little card and they were getting you to sign up for getting Robert Kennedy on the ballot.
Oh, that's slick.
Tactics. I respect tactician.
Did you see the call he was just on with Trump? Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Yeah.
So, but that's not. So the reason I got like hip to like let me see it and look through it is because they did that shit again. That was the first time. That wasn't the first time I saw that. They did that here with maybe it was like Kasich. It was like some like real weird candidate that it was just like, and I'm out there in the streets like, yo, do not fool with them. You know, like this is wrong. They, you know, like they stealing, right? And people was like, what you talking about? And I was like, listen, don't sign that. Look at who they trying to put on the ballot. And people was like, can you do this? And I was like, I mean, apparently. But so that seeing the Claudia shirt made me think about like how they are targeting folks that won't be engaged in the political process with a particular thing to be like, yo, like here's this other thing that's far worse that we need to get on the ballot. So this is why I don't think it's electoral fraud. Nothing on the form says what they're saying to you.
Wow.
So it's not like you sign up on the form and then they add the other piece in later. No, like it's already on there. The piece that's fake is the piece that's on the top of it that they just acting like, you know, you can just kind of engage with it in a like it's at the top so that like they can just keep flipping the sheet up and you can sign your name on it. Yeah, like no.
Yeah, that's, I mean, in a sense, if I'm tracking this all correctly, it makes sense given the sort of footsie he's playing with Trump right now. So on Minority Report, they played this, which I at least thought was, I don't know, mildly interesting. But this is
when you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that has like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have.
So this is them agreeing on the vaccination issue.
That a long time ago.
When has he ever been around a fucking baby?
Anyway, I would love you to do it.
Okay.
And it would be so good for you and so good for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And,
And anyway, the long story short is that's Kennedy co-signing more or less his role in taking voters away from Biden and helping Trump win or something to that effect, and then sort of agreeing on the vaccination issue. So I just thought that was, at least mildly interesting.
But the reality is he's more attractive to right-wingers, Joe Rogan fans and shit. So he's actually a foil for Trump. They find that he's eroding more of Trump's base than he is.
Interesting.
Or leeching more votes from Trump or potential Trump supporters than potential.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
what was also interesting that the host of that show made the point of was that in the conversation, Trump starts talking with Kennedy about the assassination attempt and starts talking about how God blessed him to turn away from the bullet just in time, and seeming to be unconcerned with the fact that he's talking to someone who lost his father and uncle to assassination attempts, while he's sitting there talking to assassinations, while he's over there talking about how God saved him. It's like, but your uncle and your father, whatever. But me, I'm here. So, but anyway, the only other thing that I thought to bring up today was, again, why I hate the Argentinian football team and why I wish they would have lost, is that this is them celebrating their recent Copa America win, 2 days after they lost to Brazil. And I think that, the Argentinian football team, while I wish they would have lost, is that this is them celebrating their recent Copa America win, 2 days after they lost to Brazil. And I think that, the Argentinian football team, while I wish they would have lost, is that this is them celebrating their recent Copa America win, 2 days after they lost to Brazil. And I think that, the Argentinian football team, while I wish they would have lost, is that this is them celebrating their recent Copa America win, 2 days after they lost to Brazil. And I think that, the Argentinian football team, while I wish they would have lost, is that this is them celebrating their recent Copa America win, 2 days after they lost to Brazil. And I think that, the Argentinian football team, while I wish they would have lost, is that this is them celebrating their recent Copa America win, 2 days after they lost to Braz while chanting about the racism, chanting racist chants against the French national team for all of its African players.
Hold on, Jay. Can you?
Yeah, sorry.
Is that many white people on the French national team?
Actually, let me pull that back here.
I thought I saw like 4. I thought they only had 2 that started.
It might be. Hold on, I'll bring it back here. So you have Rabiot started because let's see, Pogba is gone, and then who got hurt? Somebody got hurt.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I didn't think it was like, it made me think about that Bobby Wright thing about the joke, like, here come the Irish, here come the Irish.
And my man here is Hernandez. So
he's spicy. Okay,
he's spicy, but so Rabiot is really the only French white dude to actually start this go around.
Okay,
everybody else is African. Although they were, people were pointing out because Mbappe's mother is more like a white styled Algerian, that he's they were saying he's mixed and all this other kind of stuff. But the whole point was that Argentina was proud of their almost, well, I guess from their perspective, their whiteness, their what is it? Their pure whiteness and authenticity, whereas the French had to go get their Africans and still lost. No, Griezmann was there, but Griezmann didn't start this year, not at least every game. He was not off. He often came off the bench at the end, which would have been, but Rabiot was only there because I'm forgetting who was Tukameni or Camavinga, one of them hurt a little bit, maybe. I can't remember. The point is, but that was really it. So and I just so I'm glad they got that, at least they got caught on tape. I don't know what the extent there would be any kind of backlash or response, if any, but it's just more confirmation that But this is the importance of ball chasing.
So what's been happening, and I love them. So the boys are talking about something, and I'll just be like,
wasn't Argentina one of the prominent destinations for Nazi officials to escape to, and that the Nazis were actually quite in admiration of their success, whereas many Latin American or South American countries fail to keep their genetic purity, but Argentina, in the midst of mud people, of natives and Africans, Negroids, were able to keep their genetic purity. So I don't know. I mean, South America is as racist and has a history of racism that tracks and aligns with North America.
Oh, definitely.
I'm not, and that's why I really don't like this whole black and brown, black and Latin alliance bullshit. Because they be whole white and they cross a border and become brown and play us. So I'm glad that these instances, I hope these instances continue to awaken African people that we have no friends. And we just lost Jack Black as a friend. We had one friend.
You had one friend
and lost that one. So now we're back to no friends until another white dude learns to Dougie or what. I don't even know what white folks got to do to get on anymore.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a little tired and low on energy. I think that there's a response to what you just said that I'm looking for, but I'm not going to find it in the moment. I just I think it's a little more complicated in terms of your black-brown divide than that. But I hear you. I just don't have the energy to put it together right now. So All right, fellas. Anything else you want to get to, or any announcements? Anything you want to? What's happening with our next live?
Radicals, Radio Free Jafrica release, Jackson, Mississippi.
We got details about that.
Yes,
Yeah,
EYL,
Mhm.
Rational Radicals,
Mhm.
and the album release for Radio Free Jafrica will be happening Garvey weekend, Black August, Jackson, Mississippi. Like, okay,
Is that on,
but
do we have the date? Do we have the date?
we have the date, but I don't think we have the location. Skip.
Yeah, we got options. I want to make sure I know what y'all need. Once y'all get here, y'all good. But
Listen,
go ahead.
This weekend, we gonna reach out. We will, once again, brothers and sisters, we come to you for your support. We will be asking for your contributions to make this blessed event come to fruition. So by this weekend, all the promo stuff will be out, man. I just been out here running the streets, passport broing, failed to find a submissive foreign woman, so I'm back here stuck. Good luck finding your submissive foreign woman, Geechee. I tried it and failed, so now I had to come crawling back. Anyway,
so on my calendar, I have Saturday, August 17th. Is that
that's
real?
it.
Are we
Yes,
doing
that
it
is
all
real.
1 day or 2 days?
I don't know how long y'all gonna be here. We're gonna kick it.
Because I don't know how.
Is this true?
Like, is it all gonna be on the 17th, or are we doing 16th? Like the EYL?
Yeah, we can do. That's what I'm saying. Listen, bro. I know it's hard for y'all to understand. Chat, I see what y'all saying. I will do it at the end, okay? But yeah, so whenever y'all gonna get here, I know I'm rocking Saturday night. Well, really Saturday evening, because I don't be up late like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like
say what you mean by Saturday night.
Listen, when I tell you, like that thing gonna start at 7 and about 9:45, y'all enjoying the DJ. I'm out of there. So we got lots of space, lots of time. I do want to have an opportunity for y'all to kind of move around and see some of the stuff that's happening here. Not like in a yes, it will be live streamed, not in a show off, look at Jackson, like look at all the projects now, but like really move around in the space. Folks that are happening to be doing things, like to introduce y'all to folks that are around, if people are hip. So yeah, we can do like a little lunch at a spot, move around, see it. If y'all can get here on Thursday, if that's like a cheaper thing for y'all to do, to come in on Thursday, y'all could do the show live together on Friday. Then we could rock.
That's
Saturday
my goal.
evening. Yeah. I think
that's
that
my
could,
goal. And then I would leave Sunday morning. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I could also do is like kind of piece it together. And if like people want to come in, like let's just come in and do a thing. Like we got a lot of stuff that we can kind of move around. Y'all can see. You can hear some of the stories and get some of the stuff put in context. I also am gonna kind of hit some other folks up to be like, hey, I want you to come out and meet these folks. So yeah, just kind of like,
and I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't even mind going around the Jackson Rising folks. I've never
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
all of that. So let's
like Kali Akuno and all that. Yeah.
Are we still meeting this evening to hammer out the details?
That is my understanding that we'll be doing that this evening.
I sent the message to you and the Geechee.
Oh, as in I'm in this meeting?
Yes. I sent.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you responded. Geechee responded.
I didn't see anything about that.
And
I know we're just doing this all on the show. We should let's go ahead and end the show. We can.
Yeah. I also say this.
And can I say something? Because a lot of people
ahead.
talking mad greasy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I sent it at 4:42 p.m. on Wednesday.
Is this an email or
no? In the Earn Your Liberation chat thing.
Man, this is so many. All right. I'll find
and
it.
Geechee responded, but
I didn't. And you sent what now? All right, go ahead and say the thing you needed to say.
Everybody talking about how I don't have the login and stuff because I talked about how y'all go at whenever I ask y'all and have any type of technical difficulties, I don't encounter the level of sympathy that I think I deserve. Now, there have been, with the whole, I had the thing and I was logged in, and then it's a whole new thing. So don't have people thinking that. I just say that ain't right for people. Now, I don't want to revisit or reopen wounds that are healing quite nicely, I have to admit. But it ain't just that I'm irresponsible.
All right, we thank you for the clarification.
Some level of manipulation and sabotage.
All right, so good people, August 17th, Jackson, Mississippi. Stay tuned for more information. Please do continue to like, share, subscribe, support the Patreon if you can. Make sure you have the bell rung so you don't miss all the other programs coming up. Saturdays with Renee tomorrow, Sundays with the Ear Doctor. I'll be back Monday morning. Anything else, fellas? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you tell the people, since you were on here bragging about how you have exited the social media sphere, how they can contact your music, get in and follow you, get access to the upcoming album, and get it back to your phenomenal catalog?
So things are on Apple Music. Things are also on Bandcamp. Yeah, so I don't know. I got somebody helping me with press going into it. So like a bunch of that stuff is about to start rolling out. I'm sure somebody will do it. I don't know. Like I have no interest in doing it. I don't think that works for me. This is better for me. So yeah, if y'all some people that want to do it and want to have a contact Skipp Coon here and manage their piece.
Yeah, Skipp Coon, you're on Bandcamp, you're on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm on Apple Music. I'm on all the things.
And just
like you can get all the music, but you just can't talk to me. But I'll be on Diallo show, Rational Radicals. I guess is our show.
That's Skipp show.
Okay, so we do that alternating Wednesdays that I don't have soccer. Also, Comrade Trav. Hey, if you hit Jared, give him my number. If y'all like in community like that, like whatever that is.
We're not, but we should be. We're not. I'd like to be though.
Yeah. So like anybody that's like, if you know me, my number is not hard to get. Like people give it out. I don't care. Like I don't be tripping off of that. So like
Radio Free Jafrica.
August.
Releasing Marcus Garvey's birthday, August 17th. 2024, Radio Free Jafrica, the new release, and I've heard it. And if it gets out before then, I didn't bootleg it.
I haven't heard it.
But I've heard it, and it is, chef's kiss. It's a masterpiece. And listen, I'm a consummate hater. If there was something hateable on that shit, I would tell y'all. So yeah, I just commend you. And I think everybody, all my praise and adoration for this new project will be validated once it gets out to the public. And I fast and pray that you get out there and promote it and let the world know, let the whole world know, man.
Yeah. Put out
a button, put out some stickers, something, man. The world need to hear it.
Hey, bro, I'm going to do it. I promise you I'm going to do it, but all
that family shit, it ain't hip hop. That's not hip hop. Family,
get your digital street team
out in these streets, man.
Yeah. Hey, man. If anybody want to help with that, let me know.
On stacks, man. You got it. Shit. People need to hear this. Yeah, stickers.
But yeah.
I'm gonna just start bootlegging. I'm gonna do some bootleg shirts, some bootleg stickers and buttons. I'm gonna have to get out here. The unofficial.
For sure, man.
You have to put your lawyers on. But anyway, all that's coming too. Stay plugged in. It's not Skipp socials. Jared, mine, Tenacious Gee. We gonna be if nobody else.
All right, everybody. Peace if you're willing to fight for it. Like Fred Hampton used to say, we'll catch you next week. Same place, right back here for more.
You got to earn your liberation.